people, welcome. Welcome to our lair. Welcome to the Rowdy Studio. My name is Buzz Cutler. This is Bassmasters. We talk NASCAR racing here at Rowdy, and we're going to talk the Tums Fasterly 500, where Tony Stewart emerged victorious yesterday at Martinsville Speedway. Now, Carl Edwards came in the points leader. He goes out the points leader. He's got to feel really good about surviving both Talladega and Martinsville, still atop the points. But now Tony Stewart, by virtue of his win, is only 8 points back in second place.
I think it's a win for Carl Edwards. I mean, he said after the race, this was a gift. And if you look at how he ran for much of the race, it was. The guy was losing a lap,
how he
22nd,
got back to the top
28.
10?
The flurry of cautions at the end really helped Carl Edwards, and he made the car better. He and crew chief Bob Osborne did make the car better and were able to pass people with that race car at the end of the race. And that same flurry of cautions helped Tony Stewart as well. But if you look at Carl versus Tony right now, Tony was very clear after the race. Carl Edwards needs to be worried about me, and Carl had this rejoinder.
Yeah, he's wound up. He won the race, but we'll see what happens at Texas. I mean, I feel like we're going to go there, and we're going to have as good a shot to win as anyone.
So he sounded pretty calm to me.
Well, if you look ahead, you've got Texas, you've got Homestead. Carl Edwards is very strong at both of those tracks.
And they should have a good basic package to get there with the car very good off the track.
Carl Edwards should actually feel better now that Matt Kenseth is out of the picture, because Matt Kenseth and Carl Edwards head-to-head on those downforce tracks, that to me was more of a dire situation for Carl than going head-to-head with Tony Stewart on those downforce tracks.
Well, it looked like Carl might give up the points lead to Matt, and Matt with the lead going into the final three, I think you're right, is a much bigger problem than Tony 8 points out going into the final three. But Tony Stewart also said, well, Carl may not be worried, and he may think I was just pumped up after the race, but I'm definitely coming for him.
My adrenaline's wore off, and I still mean he better not sleep too long in the next 3 weeks. We've been nice all year to a lot of guys and giving guys a lot of breaks. We're cashing tickets in these next 3 weeks.
Our buddy Bill Marks from Sporting News came up with an interesting statistic. 16 of Tony Stewart's wins have been in the final 10 races of the Cup season. That's 16 of 42. 38% of Tony Stewart's wins have come in the last 10 races of a Cup season. I think that's a pretty significant chunk, 38%.
Well, when we look at this race, you have to look at the driver as well as the team, okay? Because they did make that car better. Tony was in danger of getting lapped and really fighting hard to stay on the lead lap at one point. They made the car better, granted. But to pass on the outside at Martinsville,
Jimmy Johnson.
The master of Martinsville, on the outside. When you got the outside on a restart on Sunday, you were screwed, man. I mean, you were stuck. You just had to find a way to the bottom.
You had to hope somebody let you in.
And frankly, restarting third seemed to be better than restarting second because of that fact. So the fact that Tony Stewart was able to make it work out there says a ton about the guy's driving ability. And that, I think, is where Carl Edwards needs to be worried, because Tony Stewart can take a car that maybe isn't that good and do something with it. Now, granted, the car was a lot better yesterday. It wasn't a bad race car at the end of the day, but that was Tony Stewart at the end of the race.
Yeah. This is a two-time champion. This is a guy who is one of the most talented race car drivers in the world. And to have him in your rear view when you're coming down to the championship run at Homestead, it's got to be a little unsettling, I think Carl Edwards is up to it.
I think Carl Edwards has got it. He's been there mentally. I think he's got the mental capacity to handle the pressure. I don't think he's going to crack under the pressure. But Tony Stewart will certainly put the pressure on.
Yeah, and Tony Stewart will do what he has to do.
And it's racing, man. Anything can happen.
It's NASCAR racing, and that's what we talk about here at Rowdy.com. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to be back with more videos, so stop by again, won't you?
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.